Hello, and thank you for joining me at today's coffee chat video. Today we're talking all about texting and how you can implement it into super effective follow-up methods for your real estate biz. This is part of my coffee chat series where you and I grab a cup of joe or whatever it is you're into and rap about best practices in the real estate industry. Today I'm in my home office drinking coffee out of my favorite new mug. I'll link to that below if you're interested in. Before we begin, go ahead and hit subscribe below. I would love for you to be a part of the group and be the first to know when I release new videos on best practices for your real estate business. So today I want to share a few tips on how to make texting super effective in your business. But before I do, I want to begin with sharing why texting has to be an important part of your follow-up method. Okay, so it's 2018, and if you're watching this video, chances are you're already texting away. You're texting with your friends and your family, and you're maybe even texting with some clients. In fact, the statistic is somewhere around 40% of home buyers actually prefer to chat with their agent via text over phone calls during the transaction. And we feel that that's actually pretty accurate for our business, but even more so, I would say 9 out of 10 of our clients actually prefer to text with us over phone calls. And that's really because people are busy. Right? We have clients that work full-time jobs. They don't have the convenience of just picking up the phone and chatting with us at any time of the day. And in addition to that, it's actually a lot easier to respond to a quick text than to respond to a voicemail. That's why text messages have an open rate of around 98%. Home buyers today expect instant responses from agents. We know that if a home buyer is reaching out to us online to check out a listing, or if they have inquiries, they're going to want an instant response, even if they're a referral. And if they're not getting a response from you within 5 minutes, they're off looking for the next agent who's going to answer their questions. So you get it. Texting is important. So I want to share with you a few tips that we've been implementing and finding great results with. So hopefully you can use yourself in your own business and take your results even further. I just have 5 quick tips that I want to share here, but be sure to check out the blog for even more details. But here we go. So tip number 1, text a new lead within 5 minutes of receiving them. This is kind of a no-brainer. We know that we need to be responding to leads within 5 minutes to get that initial contact, whether it's by phone, text, or email. Of course, phone calls, if we can get them on the phone, are the most effective, but sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you're in a meeting, sometimes you're in a showing, and you might get a new lead, and you don't have the chance to just pick up the phone and call them. But if you are having a text sent out automatically within the first 5 minutes, that's going to be a really great chance to at least establish contact and set up a time for a call or an appointment later on. So for us, this looks like having a text sent out within 60 seconds of receiving a new lead online, and it's all established within our CRM, so it happens automatically without us ever having to lift a finger. This also happens to be a text for us that has our greatest response rate. 8 out of 10 leads that we're sending this initial text are responding to us right away. And it's nothing crazy, it's just simply saying, hey, regarding this property that you inquired about, what's the best time to call? Just that. Simple and so effective. So take a look at your CRM, see if you have that capability to automate that text message, or use another tool that you find works well for you. Tip 2, keep it short and sweet. With agents, we find it really hard not to do this big, lengthy conversational text. Sometimes the most effective texts that actually get responses are very short and sweet, 1 sentence, maybe 2 sentence little messages. You don't want to go full bore into a whole paragraph because that's going to be too much for the recipient to read through and respond to quickly. The name of the game is to elicit quick responses, and the easiest way to do that is send out quick, short, simple text messages. Tip number 3, follow-up call attempts with a text message. Sometimes it's more effective than, instead of leaving a voicemail, follow up with a text message. Make your phone call. If there's no answer, hang up. Follow up with a quick text message and say, hey, tried calling you. This is who it is. What's a good time to reach you? Try to establish a good time to connect so that you can set those call appointments and set up an appointment to meet. This way, you're setting the stage for a warmer lead to call and get their attention. Tip number 4, use emojis. So today consumers are very savvy and they're very wary of the uses of technology and those Autobots that send out text messages, right? You really want to humanize yourself in the text as much as possible. And emojis are a great way to do that. Try signing off a quick text with an emoji of a house or a smiley face. And if you have unresponsive leads that aren't responding to you, try following up with something simple and cute, like just a text message with 2 crickets or a waving hand or even a listening ear. That way you're humanizing yourself, you're really breaking the ice and inviting the lead to respond to you in a non-threatening manner. Tip number 5. So yes, it's really important to stay authentic in your texting, but my next tip is actually to systemize your text messaging and your follow-up sequences. The only thing worse than not being authentic in your text messaging is probably not text messaging at all. So if there's a way that you can systemize it into your business to make sure that those text messages are getting sent out and that those leads aren't slipping through the cracks, you're going to have much more effective results than just not sending them ever. So you want to incorporate texting into your automatic campaigns, your drip campaigns, and you want to template out as many text responses as you can into your CRM to make texting super simple and super easy. Just like everything else in your business, the more you have texting systemized in your business, the more likely it is that you'll be able to follow through and do it effectively over time. So I actually have a bonus tip for you, and this is tip number 6. Remember compliance. Okay, so if you are automating any texting in your business, if you are automating any communications actually, you'll really want to remember compliance. And so it's very important to where if you're notified from a client or from a prospective buyer or home seller, a prospective lead, that if either you have the wrong person or they don't want you texting them anymore, be sure to have those fail-safes installed. So if you do get a response saying, no, don't text me anymore, be sure to remove them from your list as quickly as possible. Because today there are a lot of privacy laws going into place. There's a lot of changes coming to the way that text marketing is allowed in business. So you really want to be sure that you're following compliance and that you are respecting the wishes of your leads. So if you are automating any of these texting, be sure to find a way to remove the texting drips or even the email drips if you get notification that that lead is no longer interested. Okay, just a tip, always remember compliance. So there you go, just a couple quick tips to get you started with texting and follow-up. We have found it super effective in our business, and I really hope that you try to implement a couple of these in your own. And if you do, please let me know how it goes. I always want to hear what successes you're finding, what best practices are helping your business and taking your growth further. And of course, I invite you to join our free community for real estate agents at the link below. I'll make sure to link that in the description. Go ahead, pop on over, join us where we share best practices just like this and help root each other along. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be sure to check out any of the other videos if you're so interested. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day and thanks for joining me.